Before the video starts, I do want to mention that this video is the third part of a series that's going to be running throughout February. So if you haven't seen the first part, I recommend that you do. A lot of the basics of the challenge were explained in that video, so I'd highly advise watching it. But if not, I'll quickly explain the premise of the challenge. Sonic Frontiers is my favorite Sonic game of all time, but it's way too easy. So to make it as hard as possible, I made the Ultimate Sonic Frontiers Challenge, which contains 6 whole rules. 1. You can't die at any point in the game. 2. You can only attempt cyberspace levels once, and if we run out of cyberspace levels and haven't collected all the unlockable Chaos Emeralds, we lose. 3. No fishing. 4. No major glitches like skipping Koros Island using Hyper Bounce. 5. No upgrading any of our stats. And 6. We can't intentionally side loop for rings. Without further ado, let's continue where we left off. After we move on from Ares Island, which already was extremely hard to traverse with the tight gaps, grounds that makes it near impossible to jump those long distances, and overall being an island that is very hard to get around smoothly, things somehow get even worse. Chaos Island's whole gimmick is that it's not just one big island, but multiple different islands cut up into different segments, with different ways to access each of them. And if you don't feel like grinding on rails repeatedly, well, too bad. If you want to be able to get to different cyberspace stages and Chaos Emerald vaults, well, it's up to you to find out how to get there since it's not always clear. And all it takes is one bad boost off the rails to find yourself in the void. We start off this island as we usually do, by losing all my rings in one hit from a common enemy. Since Ares Island, every time we get hit by anything other than challenge spikes, we instantly lose all our rings, so things are already really bad. I haven't played Chaos Island a little too much as of lately, but I do know, like Ares Island, that in order to start off the story, we need 20 memory tokens, which can be translated to 2 treasures and 4 memory token challenges. But unlike Ares Island, Chaos Island is a lot further into the game, so I really have next to no idea how to do a lot of things. At least in Ares Island, I knew the location of 2-1, 2-2, and 2-6, but here, I only knew how to get enough memory tokens to start the story, the location of what 3-1, and how 3-3 is. That's it. So, after we get up to the top of this building and collect a whole lot of skill points, we unlock the Spin Slash, free Tails, and get the Cross Slash. And this is when we're told to collect Vault Keys from cyberspace portals. So we fight Shinobi for it, and the Spin Slash and Cross Slash do a lot of damage. And the Cross Slash especially is very useful, because it allows us to do decent damage to our enemies without getting too close. So we beat Shinobi and enter 3-1. 3-1 is the only stage I know very properly on Chaos Island, and it kinda shows in my results. Besides my already prior knowledge, 3-1 is a very straightforward stage that's easy to sight read, so we collect 7 Vault Keys from 3-1 and unlock the Blue Chaos Emerald. Now, here's where a problem arises. I'm going to be fully honest here when I say that I had no idea how to reach the Blue Chaos Emerald. But I did realize that jump boosting with max rings would be enough to just fly all the way to the emerald. So for the next 4 minutes, I gathered all the rings from the challenges I could find. This was also good for collecting memory tokens, which I had to do a lot more traditionally, because a lot of the treasures in this island are just entrances to other 2D platforming challenges. So afterwards, we collect the Blue Chaos Emerald. Night and the squid chase happened afterwards, and it was pretty uneventful, but we did unfortunately lose our rings during the chase, meaning I couldn't boost jump over to talk to Tails, because again, I had no idea how to actually get there. And I kid you not, for the next 10 minutes, I just kept wandering around the island, looking for any rings I could find. What especially didn't help is when Excavator took all my rings, so I went from around 230 to 4, and had to start wandering around all over again. This was sort of a double-edged sword though, since even though this was very time-consuming and exhausting, it also meant I was practically set for memory tokens. Either way, I finally realized that I had to complete this little tower before I could reach Tails, and so I progressed the story, activated the Death Egg Robot, and was then told to again collect some Vault Keys. Now, because I had fought Fortress before getting the Blue Chaos Emerald, I had 1 Portal Gear, and I got 1 from a treasure, and 1 from a random enemy. So we had 3 Portal Gears to spend on the nearest cyberspace portal I could find, because honestly, I didn't have a clue where the cyberspace portal was. We ended up with 3-6, and this level went so horribly that it made sense of something peculiar about the second rule. If you don't know, the second rule in full detail states that we're not allowed to retry cyberspace levels. If we enter a cyberspace level, that's our only chance to play the level. We only have 1 try, we can't retry any stage, and we can quit the stage, but we can't rejoin. If you saw the wording correctly, you'll see it says that we can leave. But why would we want to leave a cyberspace level? Wouldn't that be a waste? Well, here's why it isn't. I was so inexperienced with 3-6 that I was slipping and sliding as soon as I entered the level. I almost died instantly and was able to clutch, but after I failed that QTE, I had to pause as soon as I could, and had no choice but to leave, because even if I hadn't paused for a split second, I wouldn't have enough time to pause again and reconsider my decision. So yeah, for the first time in this challenge, we left the cyberspace stage with no vault keys, which is a huge bummer, because not only did we not get any closer to reaching the requirement we need, but also, this level just snatched our portal gears, which aren't very fun to run around trying to collect. So after running around looking for a cyberspace level, we end up with 3-2. This one, while it certainly didn't go well, it still went kind of okay. I didn't have any major slip-ups in the level, aside from missing the first coin and having to traverse back to get it, and I constantly messed up at this last point, which cost me the S rank. Thankfully though, it didn't cost me much else, so we end the stage and leave with 3 vault keys, and unlock the rest Chaos Emerald. While on my way to collect the red emerald, I decided to fight some common enemies, and of course, I lost all my rings while doing it. So after we got hit to 125 rings, we collected the red Chaos Emerald. By this point in the run, we've done so many random challenges to collect memory tokens that we're basically set for the island. What follows is an obligatory challenge in order to collect the green emerald, and progressing the story some more before the game again tells us that we need to collect vault keys, and so we again search for cyberspace portals. As if the problem was traversing different small islands in order to collect chaos emeralds wasn't enough, a lot of the cyberspace portals aren't on the main island, so it's incredibly hard to even get to them in the first place. But we did end up with 3-4, the rail cyberspace level. This level was actually quite tricky, as I didn't have much of an idea how to get all the red star rings, and that's why we actually missed the second one. Thankfully though, we didn't miss any other requirement and collected 3 vault keys, and after a quick fight with Spider, we collected portal gear, and something else happens. You may be wondering, is there really a good reason to be fighting common enemies? All it does is put you into unnecessary danger, and the reward isn't really all that much. Well, there's a small chance that if you kill a common enemy, they drop a portal gear, which is what happened. This saves us the time of having to track down and kill a guardian, which could potentially make us lose our rings. Anyway, we found 3-3, and this was the only other cyberspace level with 3-1 that went extremely smoothly. I was super aware of all the red star rings, and I always knew what to do. The hardest red star rings to get was the 4th ring, which has the probability of wasting a lot of time, but even that didn't stop us from getting all 4 missions right. And what was even better was that we unlocked both the yellow and white Chaos Emerald, meaning we didn't need to play any more cyberspace levels. After collecting the yellow Chaos Emerald and doing yet another obligatory challenge, we collect the white Chaos Emerald and finish Tails' story. We then enter the Big Mall segment of the island, which as always is extremely infuriating, but after we finish that, we get onto the night fight, and there's really not much to comment on the Titan fight. All we do is use the Cyclone Kick, Stomp, Grand Slam, and Cross Slash as much as possible. And after we cut Night right in half, we cleared Chaos Island. This is the third part of a 5 or 4 part series I plan to run weekly throughout February. So if you want to see more of this, make sure to subscribe for more content and check the description for the next part, which I'll add to the description when it comes out. Have a good day or night wherever you are.